Hello, guys. How are you today? I hope you're having a nice day today. Now, in today's video, I want to talk about a really bad experience that I had at a restaurant recently. Now, this happened May the 5th, Cinco de Mayo. My husband, my son, and I, we were trying out this new Mexican restaurant. Now, before I get into the story, I need to give you a little bit of background. Now, we just started going back to our restaurants a few times a year. I think it was either last year or possibly year before last. Now, I love cooking. My husband loved cooking. But sometimes we don't have time to cook depending on my husband's work schedule. And so in times like that, or if I don't feel like cooking, I have to be in the perfect mood to cook in order to make the food taste really, really delicious. So in times like that, we'll stop at a restaurant. And the way we order, we don't order like regular people where regular restaurant goers where you just go in and you just order what you're going to eat and you take it home and you eat it. When we go to a restaurant, we always order the amount of food that would cover a party. This way the food will last for 2 or 3 days. Sometimes we'll order enough food to last for a week. Now, and this is every time we go to a restaurant. It's not just once in a blue moon. Every time we go to a restaurant, this is how we order. So I want you guys to keep that in mind as I am going into this story. Hey! Do I have something to tell you? All right, guys, it is story time. Fictional to reality, real life events, things that I experienced because I was there. From ghosts to spirits, witches to witchcraft, hoodoo to voodoo, devils and demons. If you believe in these things, even if you don't, check out the videos. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Join my friend and I in telling these stories. They're all in a playlist. So, we've been hearing about this Mexican restaurant serving really good Mexican food, authentic Mexican food. And at first we were going to cook for Cinco de Mayo, even though we're not Spanish. I mean, give us a reason to cook and celebrate the Lord. That's what we do. We'll make something. But since Cinco de Mayo was on a Tuesday, we knew we wouldn't have time to cook. Because my husband goes to bed at a certain time, and depending on what you're making, it could take 3 or 4 hours to finish up a meal. So we decided to go to this Mexican restaurant. They had really high reviews. They're famous for their food. They're famous for their the size of their burritos. Really, really huge. Supposedly the biggest burritos in the state. So check out this video I've inserted about the size of the burritos. So we went there. We went to this Mexican restaurant on May the 5th. We ordered over $100 worth of food. It was only supposed to last for 3 days. We ordered 6 tacos, 6 burritos, and 3 of the large Spanish rice. And I ordered it. I wanted everything chicken. I wanted the chicken tacos and I wanted the chicken burritos. Like I said, we ended up spending over $100. That was on a Tuesday. Then we went back Wednesday. That's what it was. We went back the very next day. And a different guy took our order this time. We ordered 9 chicken tacos, 5 chicken burritos, and this time 1 large container of Spanish rice. That cost close to $90. Now, the guy that took our order on Tuesday, he wasn't behind the counter at the time. This other guy took our order. But the original guy, he walked up and he went behind the counter and he asked me, he said, "So was the food good? Did you like it?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm back again today. Yeah, I love the food." So then him and the other guy that took our order, they started talking. Now, I don't know or understand any Spanish. I learned a few words in the past. If you speak it slow enough, I might be able to catch a word here and there to kind of put together or figure out, what the conversation might be about or so forth. Because in our area, they speak really fast. And now keep that in mind, what I just told you. Hey, do I have something to tell you? All right, guys, it is story time. Fictional to reality, real life events, things that I experienced because I was there. From ghosts to spirits, witches to witchcraft, hoodoo to voodoo, devils and demons. If you believe in these things, even if you don't, check out the videos. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Join my friend and I in telling these stories. They're all in a playlist. So, the guy that took our order, he looked down behind the counter, kind of turned his head to the side, and then he was shaking his head saying yes, yes. So we waited for about 15, 20 minutes, and the food was ready. We took it home. So that night for dinner, I set up the plates and everything. The 3 of us, my son, myself, and my husband, we had 3 tacos apiece and 1 burrito. And then we had some burritos to split up between the other days. That way the food would last for the whole week. And I was planning on cooking something the upcoming weekend. Well, I was in my room, didn't have the lights on, just the TV. And I bit into the taco. Food smelled really, really good. And I couldn't wait to eat. I bit into the taco and I noticed that the meat was tough. So the first thing I thought is, well, maybe I reheated it in a microwave too long. I had my son to heat the food in the microwave for 1 minute. And then it took me so long to get set up. I had my son reheat the food in the microwave another 45 seconds. So that's the first thing came to my mind, was the food stayed in the microwave too long and it made the chicken tough. Then I took a second bite and I'm thinking to myself, as much food is on this plate, a minute and 45 seconds shouldn't be too long to make the meat this tough. So I turned the flashlight on my phone and shined it down at the tacos. And they were steak tacos. Now keep in mind, I ordered everything chicken. Chicken burritos, chicken tacos. It's not that I don't like steak. Unless it's prepared a certain way where you can cut it with a spoon and it melts in your mouth, I don't eat steak. So I was very disappointed at this. But I ate it anyway. Forced myself to eat it because I wanted my fair share of the food. So yes, I ate it. Then I started eating the burrito. And I noticed the same thing. There was something wrong with the texture of the meat. Come to find out, the burrito was mixed with chicken and pork. I can only eat pork a few times a year because I have high blood pressure. So I keep in mind, or keep mindful of my pork intake. Wow. So I've been upset about it ever since. And I'm going to tell you why right now. Number one, the guys at the restaurant, if they didn't have enough chicken to make the order, they should have told us so that we had options to either choose something different on the menu or to not order from the restaurant at all, which they didn't do. They didn't know if I was able to eat steak. They didn't know if I was able to eat pork, either because of a medical condition like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, or religion purposes. And this is how they set up the food. Then it came to me, now I understand what the big conversation was about behind the counter. The guy that took the order, the young guy that took our first order on May the 5th, I'm thinking he asked the guy that took our order what we ordered. The guy told him what we ordered. And they discussed that they didn't have enough chicken to complete the order. And that's how they came up with the steak. Now, a lot of people that have heart conditions, they can't eat steak. Red meat makes their heart beat faster. So they're not supposed to eat red meat. And like I said, depending on what type of heart condition they have, they're not supposed to eat red meat. If you have high blood pressure or high cholesterol, or for religion's sake, you may not eat pork. And like I said, I thought this was such a shame that they did the order like that. And keep in mind, we're spending almost $200. A lot of people will go to a restaurant and just order what they eat for that night to have one meal. When we go to the restaurant, we always order for, like I said, 3 or 4 days, sometimes 5 days, depending on how I feel, how my husband feel when it comes to spending time cooking in the kitchen. And I told my husband about what had happened the next day, how they messed up the order. And I told him, I said, we're not ever going back to that restaurant again. And my husband didn't understand why I was saying it. And even though I explained everything I just told you guys of, what had transpired in the restaurant, he was saying, well, he had made a comment. He said, well, maybe they didn't, maybe it was an accident. And I told him, I said, that was too much food for it to be an accident. And if you're taking orders where people are speaking different languages, you need to understand those languages so you can get the order right. And I explained to him when we went May the 5th, which was the day, which would have been that yesterday, they got the order right, but this time they didn't. And I told my husband, I said, listen, I don't eat steak. You know I don't eat steak. And I have to limit how much pork I eat because I have high blood pressure, and it could lead to also high cholesterol, heart disease, or whatever. And I told him, I said, after this mistake, for the amount of money we spent, I can't trust these guys now. I cannot trust them getting the order right, because if they get away with doing something like that one time, they'll do it again. Now, I want you guys to leave a comment. Please tell me if you have ever experienced going to a restaurant and them messing up not part of your order, but the whole order. And let me know two things. Would it depend on the amount of money you spent on whether or not you go back to that restaurant again? Or would you forgive them and go back and talk to the people, let them know what happened, and give them another chance? Me personally, no. I'm not going to ever give this restaurant another chance. And they really missed out on the amount of money they could have made out of us as one family. But anyway, please leave a comment in the comment section below and let me know what you think about it. If you've ever experienced something like this, would you go back to the restaurant? Would you forgive them? Let me know, guys. All right. So that is the end of the video. Like I always say at the end of every video, let's work together to live better. And always, always thank you for watching. And if you guys like ghost stories, I got one coming up real soon within the next day or so. So if you like ghost stories, keep a lookout. I think you're going to like it. Oh, excuse me. Okay, guys. Bye for now.